Hello, and welcome to Skills. My name is Mike Evans, and along with my partner Heidi, I am the co-owner of Skills of Patchogue. Many of you came to us and you probably searched for things like kids martial arts or child development, maybe parenting tips, or any of the other dozens of things that parents search for as they're looking for better ways to help their kids. Whatever your search term was, we're very happy that you found us and that you decided to become part of our Skills family. Once people are here for a little while, usually the question comes up, all right, I searched for this thing and Skills sounded great, but we're still not really sure what it is. So throughout this course, I'm going to teach you a little bit about who we are, what we do, and how you can get the most out of our programs. Let's start with, what is Skills? Skills is a powerful child development program that uses various aspects and symbolism of developmentally appropriate martial arts to help kids with their physical, intellectual, emotional, and social development. Now, while the kids think that they're training to be ninjas, and we try very hard to make sure that they're just having fun and being engaged in these activities, the martial arts is really just a tool with which we connect to the kids and teach them these really powerful developmental lessons. Same way you might hide the vegetables in the meatloaf by cutting them up really small. Each of the classes in our skills programs are age-specific. They are designed specifically for the needs and abilities of kids at a specific stage of development. What this means is no matter how old your child is or their natural stage of development, they're going to be placed in a class that is challenging yet achievable. This allows us to leverage what we know about topics like neuroscience, exercise physiology, educational research, all to enhance your child's learning experience, because we know that kids that are 3 are very different from kids that are 14. And it's unfair to the child to try to put them all in one class. So what is this about physical, intellectual, emotional, and social? We call it PIES for short, it's the acronym. So imagine a child who has maybe a physical disability or an injury. You would take them maybe to a physical therapist or an occupational therapist to help them get back to a state of well-being or health. The problem is that health or well-being is defined as lack of dysfunction. So once that clinical practitioner gets them to a state of lack of dysfunction, what happens then? Our job is to take a child from a state of well-being, use every tool that maybe that PT/OT would use, and enhance their physical abilities above the expected stage of development for a child at that age. Similarly, if your child was struggling in school, maybe they would go to a reading teacher or a speech therapist or get some tutoring. That person would help them get to a certain point in their ability to learn and to be able to pass those tests. But who equips the children with the cognitive abilities to process that information or to take these bits of knowledge and succeed with them, excel in the various aspects of what kids do? Well, that's where we come in. We use a lot of neuroscience to enhance kids' abilities to use their brains. Not necessarily to learn information, though that's part of it, but to process that information, to store it, to retrieve it, and to keep those positive mindsets that allow learning to happen. If your child is struggling with anxiety or trauma or various emotional challenges, you might take them to a social worker or a therapist. And the therapist's job is to deal with those deep-seated challenges that the child is facing so that they can return to a state of function and health and well-being. But what about people that don't have challenges that still want to use those tools to enhance their emotional intelligence? That's where we come in. We work with a social worker. We consult with them directly with the staff, and we consult so that what we bring to class is a really powerful emotional intelligence building experience so that kids go out into the world really confident in who they are, believing in their ability to get past things. Nobody can eliminate those struggles completely. We want to make sure that kids can face those emotional challenges and move on with a positive mindset. Socially, kids go through different stages too, and we don't always recognize it as adults, and we try to maybe force them into friendships or force them to be confident about speaking to other people. But knowing that kids go through these different developmental stages for their social aspects allows us to work with both the children and parents about ways that they can encourage kids to be more confident when interacting with others, to be the leaders amongst their peers instead of just following, and to set up those healthy social boundaries that will keep them safe and moving in the right direction throughout their life. Now, all of that sounds great, but if we said that to the kids, it's right over their head, and in fact, it would probably push them away because that sounds like work. So in our classes, we use aspects of the martial arts. They're doing kicks, punches. As they get a little older, they may even start learning some grappling techniques, forms, weapons, all these cool things that really attract the kids. And when we teach those lessons, we do it in a way that promotes that physical ability, that promotes that intellectual awareness of detail, that enhances their emotional resilience, their ability to face challenge and failure and recognize it not as the opposite of success, but as an integral part of success. And we are surrounding them with like-minded people, their peers, their mentors. Everybody in the school is providing a strong social network that allows the kids to experiment in a position of safety. Now, a lot of programs say that they do things like this, and for the most part, they're right. The difference with skills is all about the direction of approach. Many activities, including traditional martial arts, sports, dance, even activities in school, all will promote things like confidence and discipline and all these things that we want for our kids. However, it tends to be a side result, a fringe benefit of the other training. In a skills school, our direction of approach is to start with the development and use those other modalities as simply the tools to enhance it. So eventually, we'll all reach the same spot. A traditional martial arts school will create an amazing martial artist who will eventually have discipline and resiliency and emotional intelligence. We, starting from discipline and confidence and emotional intelligence, will eventually create great martial artists for those kids that would like to take that track. The difference is that we start with development and end with the physical techniques and the symbolism of martial arts instead of the other way around. We find that this is a far more effective tool to help kids learn more quickly, learn more powerful lessons, and most importantly, make those lessons part of their view of themselves so that they can take it out into every other aspect of their lives and apply what they've learned in their skills classes to every activity and relationship that they engage in.